We are talking with a remarkable entrepreneur who has taken intelligent risk-taking to new heights. Danny Meyer first struck out on his own 25 years ago when he opened the critically acclaimed Union Square Cafe. He is the quintessential New York restaurateur and considered by many to be the dean of American hospitality. As CEO of Union Square Hospitality Group, Danny has created a celebrated dining dynasty that includes some of New York's most acclaimed high-end establishments. We're with him today in his latest creation in New York City. Meyer is packing them in day and night. I'm Ellen Kodeth with Food Channel Pro. Let's find out why Danny Meyer's unparalleled success led us to choose him as a leader with guts. What happens in a typical day for you? I mean, what is a typical day in the life of Danny Meyer?
I think what's typical in my life is that there's no typicity. We have, my wife and I have 4 very, very active kids between the ages of 10 and 17. We have 2 dogs at home. And the typical day starts with my trying to do my share to keep up with what it takes to get everybody off to school and fed and walked, however many legs they happen to have. And then I would say that a typical day in terms of routine things are trying to go to the gym 3 days a week, because otherwise I can't possibly keep up with the amount of food I eat. And then the rest of the typical day has to do with going to our restaurants and seeing the staff and seeing as many guests as I can, and smelling and feeling and listening and hearing, and really trying to understand how each restaurant, each business could get just a little bit better. The other things that are very, very typical to the day are having enough meetings, but not too many meetings, so that the people who are my partners, the people who are the leaders in the company, can tell me what they're up to, can ask me when they want my opinion on something, and to give lots and lots of feedback. The one thing that is all too often part of my day, which I would love to figure out, is how to spend less time on my BlackBerry and how to spend less time on email. I'm not on Facebook because I can't possibly keep up with another input in my life. I don't write a blog because I can't possibly keep up with writing every day. I wish I could. But I think the amount of time that I spend with my head either in my BlackBerry or on the computer screen, if I could have the discipline to put that aside and spend more time in the restaurants, I would love that.
Do you ever consult your family members on real tough business decisions?
I talked to Audrey. If I'm really torn about a people decision, or about a yes or no, should we get into a certain business, I always want to talk to her first. I don't want her to read about something in a newspaper or blog that I'm doing before I'm doing it, even though there's always rumors out there that may or may not be true. But I think it's important sometimes to test my gut against my life partner and her gut, and I really trust her gut. So yeah, occasionally I do.
Are your children at all interested in the restaurant industry, and would you encourage them to follow in your footsteps?
My kids love cooking, and they love eating, and they love restaurants. They love art, so they draw restaurants. My 10-year-old son is currently writing a cookbook with his favorite French toast and pancake recipes. My 17-year-old daughter, Hallie, never stops cooking. In fact, she's hoping to spend part of her summer growing an organic farm on the roof of this hotel.
Wow. Where
we can use some of the produce here. So they love it. Happily, we're in an age right now where I have enough partners that I don't need my kids to go into this business to sustain anything we're doing. But I'd be amused and I'd be interested and very supportive if they ever wanted to, but only if that's really what they wanted to do. And I'm absolutely not going to bat hoping that that happens.
Danny, what do you do to de-stress?
I play Scrabble.
Are you good?
I'm very good at Scrabble. In fact, I play Scrabble with, I play Scrabble online with one of my first cousins almost every single night.
Really?
Yep. And it may be just a couple moves a night, but there's something about that game of just seeing words and getting out of life. And the other thing that I have to admit to that is a big de-stressor for me, I play Brick Breaker on my BlackBerry. And I find that I can get into an incredibly meditative state when I do that.
It works, huh?
It works.
You have a reputation for making other people happy. Do you think it takes a happy person to make other people happy?
I think so. I think that hospitality has to be genuine. And if you're not feeling like giving, the person on the receiving end is going to know that. And if you're walking around and you're not happy, they're going to feel that as well. Look, happiness is as passing as the weather. Today happens to be a gorgeous day outside, but I bet it won't be quite this gorgeous tomorrow. And however happy I may be today, I bet I won't be this happy tomorrow. So the key thing I've learned is to spend as much time with as many people on my team as I can when I'm really happy, and spend as little time with as many people on my team on those days when my personal weather report isn't as sunny. Because I've learned that people take their cues from the leader, and if I'm not feeling happy myself, the last thing I want them to feel like is that they did something wrong, when in fact they didn't.
We've been talking with Danny Meyer of Union Square Hospitality Group. Check out the next part of this series as we explore what it takes to be a leader with guts. For Food Channel Pro, I'm Ellen Cotis.